this split.
They're pretty good at last hitting.
Yeah.
Is what I can take from this. And they seem to be winning the games.
Yeah, they most definitely are winning the games. And we are going to hop into Champion Select, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what QG decide to do against the rampaging IG. It is going to be the first ban Morgana aimed at Doinby here. You think maybe that'd be towards TCT, but not going to be the option, as Kid is going to lose the opportunity of going towards that Kalista, and was one of the first players to really bring Kalista in and make her look fantastic last split. But not going to be seeing any of that, so we can stop discussing it completely. IG thinking about their second ban very, very hard, and we'll see what they're going to go with.
No surprise that the Morgana is banned. You said it was usually taken away from the support, but Doinby is exceptionally smart on that Morgana mid. Up against matchups that usually don't go in his favor, able to push the wave and disappear.
Yeah.
And just rotate with his team. He was a very smart player, so you can see these mid-targeted bans coming out right now, and I can understand that completely.
Yeah, he certainly can. We'll see whether it is going to be the LeBlanc ban here for QG. Rookie has not seen a LeBlanc for very long.
Maybe a Cass ban.
Yeah. Well, Azir is going to be taken away. Doinby not going to be playing that one.
Fizz.
But Fizz removed from Zatai. Or Rookie. Or Qiao. Qiao probably play that in the jungle too.
Yeah, it's actually starting to come out of nowhere with popularity was the Fizz, essentially.
Yeah, or coming out of everywhere.
Well, yeah.
One of the two.
Different builds, different lanes.
Yeah, doesn't even really matter.
Out of nowhere and then everywhere at once.
Yeah, that's true. But last ban for IG. We'll see what they are going to go with here. Alistair is available. See whether they'll take that away from TCT. Rek'Sai is going to be the option here, though. Swift not going to see that champion. Gragas is a glaring opportunity here for one of these sides, unless QG decide to take it away for their final ban. Urgot's up as well. Cassiopeia is another option. There are lots of things in very high priority, and IG, of course, they do have the first pick. They are going to be able to take one of them away, but QG is going to have a lot of options, as Gragas is, of course, going to hit the bench. And Zatai is hovering a
Which just wouldn't surprise me if he locked that in, would it?
No, not really.
Something about...
That's the worrying part.
Yeah, you wouldn't pick it first, though, and we see that the Rek'Sai...
Riven is a much more standard pick here for first pick, right?
Yeah, it's completely... all the time. It's
Yeah.
prioritized.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's back onto my point, which was about standard picks.
Yep.
But the Rek'Sai and the Gragas are banned, so they don't need any early pressure junglers. So again, you can go towards the support or the top lane picks, Alistar being the perfect option. The response seemingly going to be the Hecarim and maybe the Sejuani.
Yeah, Swift has played a fair
Or a
bit of
Nunu.
Sejuani. Could possibly go towards
go
that
either
one.
way,
Do
but-
they want to leave the Nunu for Qiao, though? So Swift might want to be picking that one away, not necessarily because he's a great Nunu player, but also to remove that from the opportunity of Qiao to have that one in his back pocket.
Or they can just be a Sivir.
Yeah,
who
or they
is
could lock in
Sivir.
that one. And look, that's already a great combination. On the hunt, giving some extra damage to a Hecarim. Not bad at all. Qiao looking at a Nidalee. We'll see what he does decide to go with once this timer has counted down. Rookie has the opportunity to go for a Cassiopeia if he wants to, but blind Cassiopeia, is that a bit dangerous?
It's not that dangerous, to be perfectly honest, as they are offering a rise. I like the Nidalee pick because Cacao got very smart jungle pathing in the way that he plays the game, and Nidalee is a very unique jungle champion. You can pretty much go anywhere you want. You can invade anywhere you want. Eve does the same thing, though.
Yeah, and Qiao definitely had a fantastic performance. Going to lock that one away. Rise going to be locked in as well here for Rookie. Possibly in favor of Zatai there in the top lane. We'll see where the Rise is going to go. A bit of a flex pick, but look, we'll see what IG are going to cook up for us here onto the Rift because, man, already looking interesting. QG now going to have to react to this, and we'll see how it is going to happen. Swift considering
Giving a
Nidalee. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, you're exactly right. Maybe just a little bit of that shout out, and we'll see what is going to actually be locked in. Sivajana has been a lane that has worked out. Cute nails. Sorry, getting distracted here just for a moment. Sejuani considered for Swift as well. 4 seconds now on the clock, and we'll see whether it is going to be the Nautilus and the Sejuani that are going to be locked in. Massive frontline now available for QG, and as far as a cluster teamfight is concerned, the Ricochet is going to be going everywhere. Of course, you're going to have a whole lot of AoE from a Hecarim as well. This could be working out for QG.
I think it's definitely working out for QG. The only downside is that they don't have a Rek'Sai or Gragas, so their early dives that they love to do with Swift may not be as prominent, but looking at the team they've got at the moment, 4 of their 5 members, they've got a Nautilus, Sejuani, and a Hecarim.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievably tanky with the Sivir spell shield. And we're looking at most likely the Rise top. Zatai played that yesterday in his second game and came up quite successful in that, in fact. And I'm yet to see how that goes against the Hecarim as they seem to lock in their last 2.
Yeah, and a lot of late game scaling coming through from IG. That's probably the heaviest late game scaling AD carry in Jinx, and of course, the largest amount of consistent DPS that you can possibly have from a mid laner there in the Cassiopeia. I'm pretty confident saying that, to be perfectly honest, as Rookie is going to be taking that one. And I mean, already, Zatai is going to be on the rise, who's largely one of the highest consistent DPS champions in the game as well.
Completely changed, of course, so the consistent DPS is not necessarily reliable anymore.
That's true. Bit of skill shotting.
There is a bit of skill shotting involved, which is nice. It's a nice change to Rise, but you're right, their scaling is unbelievable. They've got Rise, Cass, who are both most likely going to be going for a tier.
Yep.
They've got the Jinx, who ramps up ridiculous with 3 to 4 item stages. And then they've got an Eve, who we've seen every time an Eve has been played in the LPL, they've gone for a Trinity Force.
True.
So will they be looking to get a mid-game spike on the Eve with the Alistar, just having the natural strength of the ultimates of all of them, and then look to scale past that with their actual champions just surpassing what they were already doing in the mid-game?
Well, we'll see how it is going to go. Of course, Qiao and Clearlove play a different style of Eve as we go through the lineups here. Zatai taking his Rise in back-to-back Rise games now into the Hecarim here. Of course, both of these champions wanting to scale, and Qiao, we'll see what he's going to be able to get done here on this Evelynn, especially early on against the Sejuani, who might need to be careful for some aggression there in the jungle. Rookie against Doinby, a little bit of control mage action here in the mid lane. See how that one is going to work out. Kid with the counter matchup into the Sivir.
A counter matchup, not during the early stages of the laning phase, but once you get those items, you do start to scale quite well. So we're looking at, again now at Kitties against TCT with the Alistar against the Nautilus, 2 brutish tanks going to be battling as supports.
Yeah, brutish is most definitely it. Of course, level 1 power probably going to go towards the Nautilus, so we'll see whether any extra action is going to be coming down there, as Dredge Lines are going to be flying through with the staggering blows there for some extra CC. But look, don't know whether there's going to be lane swaps, anything like that. Of course, IG probably not looking to lane swap that one up because Zatai loves to be able to farm it out. But ladies and gentlemen, let's waste no time. Let's get on to the Rift. And here we are already into it as QG are stacked up as 5, heading towards this top side of the map. Zatai might need to be careful as he gets some vision down early on.
I have some questions.
Oh, yeah?
They've gone for the Jinx Alistar, which is, as you mentioned, a quite weak level 1 lane. So they might want a lane swap, but then they're not going to. But QG seem to be aware of this fact that you don't want the Rise free farming against the Hecarim because it scales really well. Even though the bot lane's going to lose, they seem to be wanting the 2v2 matchup. They want to just win their lanes almost. It's really weird that they... Because it's like such a big risk to lane swap is the point that I'm making.
Yeah, okay.
You put Zatai in a 1v2, it'd be horrible. But if you leave the 2v2 in the bot lane with the AD and support, it's going to be really difficult for IG to get through the laning phase early. So it's either way, it just feels like they're going to lose out something.
Yeah, the lesser of two evils.
So they have gone for the lane swap is what is important here. QG, they want to sacrifice a lot of the Rise's carry potential or scaling timings. Hecarim has the smite. So it's going to be a lot better for them in getting farm onto that solo top laner. But then they're also giving the Alistar and the Jinx a free lane.
Well, we'll see how it's going to work out. Of course, the 2 members on the bottom side of the map going to give IG a little bit more control over the dragon as well, I guess is something to mention. QG going to be starting off on this blue buff. Same thing going to be happening here on the other side as Qiao able to line up the little sentinels, being able to take them out with some hate spikes as well as Qiao locks down the blue buff there as Zatai now going to start off this Gromp. So we'll see exactly how this one's going to work out moving forward, but QG hard pushing in the top lane.
Yeah, doing what the Sivir and Nautilus should do. They freeze, They freeze a wave. You get the second wave to come through and you can choose to either push with the second wave or wait for the cannon where you're able to take the tower in one go.
Well, Kid is also going to be freezing this one out as well. I considered the fact that they were a little bit further up in the lane, but of course they did decide to leash those minions just to make sure that they were hitting the right targets and getting that freeze exactly where they wanted to. Rookie with control of this wave, though. Doinby in a bit of trouble now, getting hit by poison after poison. Rookie going to like the passive stacking up on that one. Serpent's Embrace. Doinby trying to do some work last hitting out of turret. Orianna, known for her ability to last hit on a turret, but takes a little bit of getting used to, and Doinby nailing it this time around.
Also uses a lot of mana, which is quite a big deal into the Cassiopeia match. If you don't get all of the last hits you don't get that Doran's ring starting to give you mana back on every single one, the pressure might overwhelm you. You start to run out of mana very quickly. So important that you actually get all of the last hits in this matchup.
Yeah, and it looks like IG actually going for a full clear of the jungle, now heading towards the bottom side of the map. We'll see whether they are going to go for the hard shove, the fast push. They're wandering into the enemy jungle. They're going to take down the Rift Scuttler. We'll see whether they are going to take the Gromp as well, as they are going to have both jungle top lane combos heading towards their relevant, relative sort of empty lanes. And hard shoving is going to happen.
Here's the thing, though. Ryze has 1 CS. Now, Hecarim does only have 6 as well, but they are on jungle camps because he has the smite. So he's got some gold. Ryze, who wants the scale, who really wants to ramp up with items, has a single CS right now. 1 last hit. And that's not a position you ever want to be in as a Ryze, so he's sacrificing a lot of item timing because of this lane swap. So it is a smart decision, and that was close.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
Unlucky.
The Arctic Assault damage not coming through, but of course, we do have a fair bit of smite action there available, so Swift's going to lock that one down. IG going to take a relatively early dragon here at 4.5 minutes into the game, as TNT going to just tank up this wave, get another one in motion. QG now positioning around here, and IG, they've just sacked the top lane completely.
Well, they have to. It's that threat of the 1v4 dive. You can see both teams actually having to do the same thing. And Zatai actually having doubled his CS in the past minute, doing quite well for himself if it continues in this trend.
Yeah, well, exponential growth of CS. See whether he can get to 4 within the next minute. It's going to be very, very difficult when he starts having to pick up, you know, the likes of 150 CS in a minute. But look, we'll see whether he can get there.
In a way, it's not all that bad for the Ryze, and I know I've been roasting the fact that they've only got 2 CS on a Ryze who now only has a mana crystal, but after they get this top turret, we'll see what QG actually opt to do. You can push this into the second turret to stop the freeze from happening, but if Ryze can get a freeze on this, if you can stop it in its tracks, then Ryze is going to be able to free farm, and then he'll be getting a lot of free CS pretty much uncontested.
Yeah, and also very, very safe as well, irrespective of the fact that the map is a little bit further opened up on the side of IG with the loss of that turret. You can see there's a serious freeze going on the bottom side of the map. Kid, 42 CS to the 36 here of TNT. TNT understanding the fact that they're not going to be fighting very much very soon, and he's picked up an Avarice Blade as his first item.
I'd like to point out that Zatai is actually ruining his CS per minute of being rank 1 at the moment.
Oh, yep, well that's the thing. That's what we're talking about. Are they going to sacrifice that beautiful CS? He's got 4 minutes. 4 minutes to pick up 95. How do you think he'll do?
I think he'll probably get about 15 CS.
Yeah.
If it continues. No, he's going to be able to get the wave. It's pushing into the opposition turret here, though. So Hecarim's going to get a lot of farm immediately. Ryze has to wait for it to push back or have that awkward 1v1 trade-off where you've got a mana crystal and the makings of a tier against a null magic mantle.
But, I mean, one thing that we haven't really mentioned is the fact that Rookie has been having a fantastic time in the mid lane. 12 CS in the lead now, 51 to 39. Now has the tier in his back pocket. Has picked himself up a Ruby Crystal. So we'll see what he does decide to build out of that one. Of course, Haunting Guy is a great item. Can go towards Riley's Crystal Scepter as well. Yeah. Just for some extra CC. As Zatai, as you mentioned, shoving this lane into the turret here. V able to pick up all of the farm that he wants. In fact, smiting down the farm that he can't necessarily guarantee. Not too bad.
You've got to love having smite for that purpose. And you're right, Rookie's having a really good time in the mid lane right now. The CS advantage is only 10, but it's CS advantage with a tier compared to a Chalice. So having the magic resistance on the side of Doing B is not providing a whole lot for him besides the mana regen. Whereas having the tier, it's starting to scale up and ramp up almost for free.
Yeah, well, Rookie, of course, continues to have the pressure in the lane. That is going to be the blue buff going down for both of these sides. 400 gold in the lead is QG, so working out is the lane swap as far as the money is concerned. And with the Avarice Blade there giving some extra gold and the fact that this Hecarim's been able to pick up some more farm is working out quite nicely. Zatai probably wants to go back and... Oh, actually, TNT might be in trouble. Super Mega Death Throw comes through for not too much damage as he is able to use that minigun in order to get some work done here, but... Nice little engage there from IG on the bottom side, but nothing going to come from it.
Really, really aggressive item buying here from the side of TNT. He has gone for an Avarice Blade, first and only item next to the Dorans. You compare that to the BF sword that has now been finished on Kid. No wonder they just went as hard as they did, because they can win a fight convincingly. And If you're on the side of QG right now, you're probably not looking to fight for the next 5 to 10 minutes in any lane, really, besides top.
And that's probably going to suit IG here. We were talking about, you know, has a decent scaling team comp with the likes of Cassiopeia, Ryze, and Jinx.
Yeah, it's true. They do scale very well. So the longer that this takes for QG to hit their item spikes, the longer they can start, the longer it takes before they can control the map, the better it starts to look for IG.
Yeah, and another thing, Swift has been able to get through this early stage relatively unhindered, has picked up all the farm that he likes, and the lane swap is going to help out this Sejuani just because she does have a difficult time in the early parts of the game. And now is able to pick up any farm that she wants, make sure that she can get to level 6, and has made it there, of course, as well. So that Glacial Prison is going to be there for the next fight. And we'll see whether IG can put pressure on this next dragon. Up in another minute and a half, approximately. It's going to be, misses the cannon creep. Unfortunate stuff. Looking out, stacking the tier, and what do you think that this Ruby Crystal is going to build into?
It could go either way at the moment. We'll see what the actual first item wants to be. If you're looking for an earlier spike, then the Haunting goes for the flat pen, but Cacao's going.
Yeah, he's popped the Agony's Embrace here as well. TCT's going to have to flash over this wall, does so. Cacao is thinking about following over, but decides not to. Super Mega Death Rocket.
Here it goes.
Is he going to be able to get there? We haven't found it. Where is it? It's going to miss.
It's gone.
Yeah, he did have the Titan's Wrath there as well, did TCT, so able to shield himself up just a little bit and was just wandering around.
Tried our best to follow it. Really unfortunate that we couldn't, but we did see the end result that he didn't die, and now Jinx has no ult. Sejuani is near the bottom. If they can get something off, it might come back around, but the difference in items between the AD carries is now a pickaxe and the Avarice Blade to the BF sort of Jinx, who will be looking to buy pretty soon with 100 CS and get a pickaxe or something.
Yeah, and 100 CS to 70 now as well, so 30 in the lead. Swift looking for something here as the Petrifying Gaze comes through. Swift might have to ult to save himself. Oh, Rookie sidesteps as Kitties is in there. That's a nice 3-man shockwave, but not going to be enough here for QG as the damage had already been done. The Piggy fell down, and Cacao locked himself down the kill there for first blood.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, apparently, there is a Ryze going down to the power of Siva. So they do make a trade for it, but that was really well played by Rookie. Even cleansing, though, that the ult didn't hit. If the ult were to hit, still would have gone down because the cleanse was used. So
yeah, nailed it.
Exactly, nailed it. Smart rotation there. There was 4 members. The shockwave hit people, but it's not going to be able to do much. And even now, he's out of mana, struggling in lane, and there's a 10 CS difference.
Yeah, Rookie is just a monster. And we've spoken about Rookie before as well, talking about the fact that, you know, as far as the laning mid laners are concerned here in the LPL, Rookie almost has no equal when it comes to just being strong in the lane. And now he's on Cassiopeia, who's just a dominating laning champion in general.
Yeah, has this really, really strong spike with just levels and power from actually having these spells available. Once you hit 2, once you hit 3, and once you hit 6, you're really, really strong. And up against the Orianna, who really needs items to ramp up, has the Athenes now, but the rest of QG are going to be able to stop that push at least. And this is the second dragon already.
Yeah, already been started off here by Cacao and Kitties. Kid going to come around to get some extra damage down as well. Cacao going to smite that one away. Nice use of those chompers to make sure that QG couldn't get in there. And it is going to be second dragon, and it's really good timings here as well from IG, making sure that they're getting it as soon as possible. So 12 minutes was the second. Going to mean that they're going to have, you know, 5th dragon potentially at 30 minutes into this game.
Yeah, if it continues on the track that it is now, and having such a high scaling comp that they have at the moment, it's starting to look really good for the side of IG. You need something to happen pretty soon on the side of QG. If you're looking to get an advantage out of nowhere, you need to utilize the fact that you have all of these tanks and that they're going to take a long time to ramp up and scale. At least you've got the raw CC and spells to make picks anywhere you choose. Just choose somewhere and go there and get a kill.
Yeah, do something. Use these high-impact ultimates. Use the fact that you've got, like, the pig plus ball. Pig ball, pretty good.
Yeah, pig ball combo's great. And then you've got the Hecarim, you've got the horsey with the pig ball.
Yeah, horse ball. You can play horse ball, pig ball, you know, underwater ball with Nautilus. I mean, there's plenty of options. Just play with... I'm not going to finish that sentence. TNT is going to continue farming out in this top lane. Rookie going to continue farming in the mid. And Kids just moving around where the turrets are. And the outer turret did fall in the bottom lane. Now looking to try and get some free time anywhere that he can. 20 CS is the lead now as well. Get over it. Okay, the joke's done, Rusty.
It's the fact you didn't finish it that made it funnier, though.
Ah.
Kid is doing a lot at the moment. They're all rotating on the side of IG exactly where they need to be, and they're getting these objectives. They've got the bot turret. It's 1-for-1 in turrets at the moment, but they've got a 500 gold advantage, and it's 2-0 in dragons. For this side that's meant to be taking a long time to ramp up, they're doing it pretty quickly.
Yep. They're most certainly making stuff happen. I mean, the one thing that's not happening very fast is Zatai doing well. And I mean, he's trying to find farm where he can. He's now relegated towards the bottom side, but if he's looking to build a Rod of Ages, that's going to be happening at about 17 minutes, which is not exactly the fastest that we've seen, as Kid flat out misses a zap. Oh, actually, it was probably just scouting out the bush. Yep. Just looked a bit funny from here. Now TNT, TCT just farming out this top lane. And there's, of course, not too much in the way of turrets in order to be gained, but they're just defending so that Jinx can't get some minigun time. Ooh, teleport forced to be cancelled here from V. So they're looking to try and get something going, but that was a very optimistic teleport.
Optimistic is a very nice way to describe that teleport. That was not really a position where anyone was going to take any damage at all, or be in a position to even consider taking any.
Yeah.
So the teleport gets cancelled, and we're going to stay with standard lanes, just reversed positions at the moment. And that's exactly what you want on the side of Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and I mean, TNT now is sitting there with a kill under his belt, but down still over 20 CS. Yeah, Kid and Kitties looking to start something out. Qiao as well under here. Oh, beautiful flash. What the heck? Over the top of the headbutt. TNT. That was a sweet play, and avoiding that gank, that looked like it was impossible to avoid.
Timed to perfection with the headbutt animation. Can't cancel the headbutt, so you swap spots.
Yeah.
That was so well done, and the reaction time that it takes to be able to do that, Kitty's held onto that headbutt for a very long time. So they hovered around the turret and still managing to save his flash, not burn it, and stay so calm in a situation like that is very impressive.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play. Of course, the flash was then down, so they did end up losing the top lane out of turret, but not going to lose the life of the Sivir. That is going to be important here for QG. As TNT is able to pick up a few of these.
So this is definitely replay worthy.
Oh my
unbelievable.
Goodness.
The reactions that it takes to do that. His best Urgot impression as a Sivir.
Yeah. Of course, takes a little bit of, you know, combining of skill there, with the headbutt being fantastically timed as well, if you want to do your Urgot impression, because
I guess Urgot does an impression of that, really.
Yeah. That was really, really nice to see. TNT actually flashed like when he was sharing particles with the Alistar. Ridiculous. Zatai, though, still in the bottom lane. Trying to catch up in this farm, wants to be able to get to the point where he has about 1,600 gold, can go back and pick up the Rod of Ages. Archangel's stuff completed for Rookie, so we're still not able to see what this Ruby Crystal's turning into. Rookie knows that he can just transform this Archangel's relatively fast and wants to get to the point of having that Seraphs as soon as possible for the extra shield, extra ability to make some plays around this map. Warrior Enchant completed for Qiao, does have those Ninja Tabi at the same time, so getting a little bit tankier as well as having the damage spike of this Warrior Enchant that we're not used to seeing.
No, we're not, but Eve seems to like the Warrior Enchant, that is for sure.
Oh yeah.
Provides this little bit of extra damage that you're not often used to seeing from a jungler, especially at the moment. Being an Eve, the damage comes from nowhere because you're invisible and then does this surprising amount. Which is very, very good at dealing with tanks, dealing with multiple members and team fighting, but again, they're trying to ramp up so hard. Ryze has no items to speak of in terms of team fight capabilities, only really wave clear. And they've started to get the Cinderhulks here from both players on QG. They've got Hecarim and Sejuani ramping up. They've got the needlessly large Rod finished, but no boots on the side of Doin B. So he's opting straight into that damage. And then you've got TNT, who has the Infinity Edge finishes. They're fighting over a ward desperately.
Yeah, it is the farmyard fight now, Pig versus Cow. Seems like the Cow's going to win this round, at least.
Yeah, I don't think he'd win a war, though.
No.
Pig actually does damage.
It's true. It's true. Cow has better friends, though, apparently, at this stage of the game. Doinby is going to be able to secure his blue buff, though, and Swift going to clear out some vision as Kitty's still hanging around. Third dragon is now available for IG, and the first for QG if they manage to get there. Qiao is down here. Teleport available again from V, of course. Was able to cancel that one out, so saves a little bit of the cooldown. 1,000 gold is the lead for IG at this stage round. And Zatai's popped his ultimate. He was looking to try and fight V a little bit, but may have removed enough. Oh, teleport actually being used here by V, wanting to try and get in amongst it. There's the ultimate as Kid's just going to try and get everyone out of here. Unbreakable has been popped as Qiao, not exactly the tankiest member here, but the Shockwave going to be flashed out of the way of the Dragon. Ended up falling though, and IG locked it down, and they only lost the Qiao.
V does pick up Kitties, so they do get a kill out of it, but that is the third Dragon now down at 18 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. They have got the objective control down pat right now, and that is with a team comp that you would say arguably not able to fight right now against their QG opponents. The teleport about a second late to be able to contest that one. So making a 1-for-1 trade for the third Dragon at 18 minutes is definitely worth it.
Yeah, it was very well played. Zatai now has the Rod of Ages as well. So that's going to start stacking here at about 18 minutes into this. So, look, not exactly the fastest, but in a lane swap, I mean, you'll give him credit for it.
Yeah, he's managed to start out farming the Hecarim, who had the advantage over him almost in laning phase once they swapped back. Both level 3, but one had effective resistances, the other one had a mana crystal.
Yeah. Well, now Zatai probably stacked up that tier quite effectively. We're now just going to wait for the Rod of Ages. Try and pick up a Seraphs as quickly as possible, and then possibly go towards a Frozen Heart, something more tanky as well. And do you see often with this new iteration of Rise, sort of the Spirit Visage Frozen Heart being sort of the second to the third and fourth items, that sort of option? It's
such a difficult decision to make on this new Rise because the passive, once you hit level 6, 11, and 16, gives you 10, 20, and 30% extra cooldown reduction as a flat rate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you opt into cooldown reduction, which is great because you need the Frozen Heart for Rise, generally speaking, it gives mana, gives damage, gives armor, like it gives everything that you actually want as a Rise, you're then going to be about 10% over your CDR cap already.
Jeepers.
So you need to make a very tough decision of, do I want to go straight for these CDR items, or do I want to go for, say, pseudo AP resistance items like the Zonias, the Rylai's, items like that, that'll still give ability power and make you do damage, but they don't make you go over the CDR cap that Rise would normally be going over.
Well, we'll see what he does opt for here, as it looks like the Mercury's Treads might be the next option. Of course, Abyssal Scepter is also there. He can decide to grab if he wants. But I have a feeling that the Mercury's Tread's probably going to be what he's looking for. Of course, doesn't want to be stunned up too often. This kid is just going to headbutt back this Orianna, who's being slightly frustrating.
Took a lot of damage though. Both of these mid laners right now at 21 minutes having over 200 CS. The AD carry here, you've got 200 CS on Kid, you've got 185 on Sivir, and they're all farming ridiculously well.
Yeah, V actually going aggressive onto Zatai here as well. The passive actually might be turning this one around here as Zatai trying to get everything down. There's another Rude Prison. Oh my goodness, the ultimate comes through. Depth Charge comes down, but Zatai misses the Q, and V locks down the kill. It looked like that Q actually went through the horse, but man, QV managing to pick that one up with some timely help from TCT.
The new Rise's Q being a skill shot.
The rocket.
The sole reason that that went badly.
Yeah.
Missing 2 of the Qs was the difference between life and death right there for the Hecarim. So unlucky and very well timed by the Nautilus. TCT coming in there.
Yeah, Depth Charge hitting at exactly the right moment. Zatai might have been able to pick something up, but also V moving into the brush there, making sure that he could deny vision.
Yeah.
So that the Q was blind as well. So Zatai probably would have been able to win that 1v1 had it been an actual 1v1, but brilliant timing from TCT to get into that lane and get things working out. It was, in the end, a haunting guys. Rookie making sure that he has the armor penetration for the early stage of the game.
Magic pen.
What did I say?
Armor.
Armor, right. Yeah, magic penetration. That's probably what the mask is going to do. Thank you very much, Rusty.
You're welcome, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers. Cheers, Kev. All right, so Force is going to be moving down now from the top lane, it looks. No, just going to get some vision, and now Rise is going to meet him there as well. So not exactly a whole lot going on. The gold is very, very close.
Yeah, it is. Only 400, 500 roughly between them. And only now QG is starting to group up and look for these objectives. They're not just skirmishing in lane anymore. And the question is, have they left it too late to actually group? Or is it just the right timing? Because they've got the death cap now. They've got the Infinity Edge static shift. They've got the locket, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
That negates a lot of the damage from the cast and the Rise. But there is a haunting, and the Eve even while I'm going. And let's just count Alistar. The locket is a big deal, so maybe this is the go button for the QG side. They've got that locket down, they can start to team fight. But as I say that, they lose a turret.
Yeah, mid lane out of turret is going to fall. Swift was in the top side of the map, probably taking down that Scuttle Crab, getting some vision around this Baron area, but does mean that Jinx is able to just minigun that turret down. Easy as you like. Qiao is like a recipe combination and a Kindle Gem away from that Locket of the Iron Slurry. Probably wants to be able to pick that one up as soon as he can. And in fact, probably has the gold in his back pocket as well after that turret did fall down. But, I mean, this guy on your screen right now, Kid, is probably what IG are waiting for. They're waiting for him to pick up the Berserker's Greaves, possibly even that last Whisper, before they really start fighting, because the Jinx is going to be a huge problem for QG. The massive range going to mean that they have to really dive into that backline to get stuff happening.
Yeah, and the fact that they're stacking MR indicates that they're looking to kill Kid first. So coming into these team fights within the next 5 to 10 minutes or so will be about if they can kill Kid in time, or if Kid is going to just completely blow a fight out of the water and destroy the QG side. They've got the makings of it. They've got the Nautilus, the Sejuani, Hecarim, Orianna, Sivir, all of them, in fact, very good at getting to the backline in combo. They're going to contest this dragon this time, and at least try and stunt the 5th dragon win condition for IG.
Yeah, Zatai has the teleport. The horse is already around here. Beautiful ultimate there. The 3-man Shockwave. Qiao just going to get destroyed. The Chompers are there as well, but Zatai trying to sit in the front line, getting some work done, but look at the rocket damage. Kid trying to do the work. TNT almost falling down. The Command Protect doing some work as Rookie. Now the one-man show, unable to get anything done. Kiddy's the only one alive in QG with a beautiful team fight.
That was the ideal team fight for them right there. Sejuani starting it off. You follow that with the Hecarim ultimate. You've got the Orianna Shockwave, all while Sivir's just pressing the R key and right-clicking them. Wow, that was a great team fight for them. Almost turned around by the side. The Petrifying Gaze and the amount of damage that the Jinx was doing was phenomenal. But because they initiated that fight so well, though we questioned the timing on why they decided to team fight, they've completely turned it around. They've got themselves the Baron. They need to probably want to get to this dragon, though, and stop the 4th one from going down, as we're going to have another look at this. And Sejuani, no hesitation. Hecarim, Orianna, Nautilus ults, ridiculous amount of work. Zatai teleports in, tries to do as much damage as he can, and they do get close. Kid does get a reset, but the Orianna shield enough to save Sivir and win that team fight from there.
Yeah, Qiao around here as well, but they are going to have to give up this 4th dragon. IG unable to continue on that clock as far as the 5th dragon is concerned, but it is only the 1st for QG. IG definitely with 3 in the bank, going to be pretty happy about that one. And now IG really need to think about how they're going to orchestrate these team fights, because they can't get caught out by an ultimate like that, because, I mean, Swift is going to tear them apart like that every single time, and now they have to weather the storm of this Baron. Kid, a lot of wave clear, but V, you can see down on this bottom side of the map, just clearing out all the minion waves and smashing down these turrets as well. The split pushing horse is going to be a problem.
Now, there's also no summoners on Cass, there's no summoners on Jinx. So they probably don't want to fight for the next 3 to 5 minutes until they're all available. They want to secure the strongest carries that they have here on the side of Invictus, so that when they do team fight, maybe not all of that AoE that hit them in the last one will combo this time.
Yeah, and also they need the QSS here onto Kid so that he can get out of anything that's going to be coming forward. There's also the Mikhail's Crucible that's possibly going to be built by Kiddies at some point in this game. But QG continue to knock down turrets. It's now even on that front. And QG continuing to get further and further ahead on gold. So 5,000 now the lead. IG, we would have assumed that they would have been behind at this point in the game just because they have invested so heavily into the late game scaling on the Cassiopeia and the Jinx. But even if they do get into the late game, can they really handle all of this CC that's being given out by QG? Because in that last team fight, it just looked like when the Onslaught of Shadows was coming through with the Frozen Tomb, the Glacial Prison, they just die.
They don't have an answer to the immediate engage that comes out from the QG side right now. They've got a bigger go button.
Yeah.
Any one of them can just press their R key basically and go onto the side of IG, and that's a big threat. But the damage that IG put out from every single member of their side, including Qiao, and the only exception is probably going to be Kiddies, who is a support on Alistar, they're all doing immense amounts of damage. So, speaking
Onslaught of Shadows in here as well as TNT looking to try and get some damage down to Zatai. Zatai just continues to do all of his buttons all over everything. And the horse He's going to be using that Spirit of Dread in order to get himself back up to safety as well. Qiao trying to find a flank in this fight. But everyone on QG just moving around systematically, destroying turrets on this map. The fourth probably going to go down here in the mid lane as TNT has managed to make his way around there. That's going to fall. The ball now in a decent position as well as IG. Just damage control over and over again. Baron has fallen off now, so QG have to take their foot off the gas just a little bit, but they utilize that Baron to great effect this time around.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, actually, that was a flash from Qiao as the depth charge comes through. There's Doinby landing the kill. The Super Mega Death Rocket comes through on the exhausted Doinby, but Kitty's trying to get in amongst it. Zatai gets exploded. Double kill for the Orianna. That's going to be one picked up for Swift as well, as heal's going to be popped from Kid, looking to try and get something happening. Oh, Rookie might be able to turn this one around. Swift overly aggressive as Rookie locks down the kill. But the rest of QG looking to try and get something done. QG using V there to tank up the turret. TCT probably didn't want to actually let that one connect as the poison lands as well. They have to be careful. Not going to be able to transition into too much now either.
Swift actually suiciding a little bit there, causing his team to not be able to continue to siege the mid. Maybe the better option was to utilize that you've got minions pushing in the top lane and take the inner turret there. But instead, they've opted to go towards the mid lane. They do get a free kill essentially onto this Sejuani. Swift going a little bit too deep. But on the back of that team fight, it almost felt like Eve misclicked the flash. Because she flashed and started to run away instantly and then was like, oh, I'm in a bad position, better press ult, and just died. I wasn't entirely sure what that was.
It was a strange one. It was definitely a unique maneuver. Zatai is going to clear out this top wave as well. Rookie waiting to try and pick off TNT. Just going to back away. Wanted someone to try and face check,
the only way
not happening.
Would be if they face checked the bush. You can't walk out of the bush and try and 1v1 someone with a spell shield and summoners.
Yeah, and then Rookie deciding that Swift probably a little bit too much to chew. As Cassiopeia might be in a little bit of trouble now as well. Maybe forced to use that flash to get over this wall. Is going to use it. So not sure what Rookie was doing.
Making a very cheeky attempt at a play right there. If they did, if Siva face checked that bush, it would have been big for them. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way, and having to use his own summoner, it's going to hurt, especially against Nautilus, Sejuani, Hecarim, Orianna, all of them again.
Yeah, QG now setting up for a bit of a siege here as well.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Boomerang doing some work. The shields from the Command Protect and, of course, the Bloodthirster for TNT. 3-0 and 4 now on this Siva, so doing great. The inner turret now going to fall down, and looks like QG, they've got the control that they were looking for. 10,000 gold now the lead for this lineup. Baron going to be up in another minute. Minute also on the Dragon approximately as Zatai now going to clear out this top wave. Oh, TNT,
wow.
He's got caught out. That's the Siva dead. Kid's going to get excited there as well. Flame Trumpets come through. V now finds himself in an uncomfortable position as Zap not going to land. And IG, they get a pick, but are they going to be able to translate it into any more? Might be their fourth Dragon. And possibly even a red buff here at the same time, and some much-needed map control back here in this game.
TNT with all of his summoners and the ult available getting instantly destroyed from what looked like a headbutt pulverize combo with
I think it was a flash
the
pulve.
flash pulve from Alistar to initiate that to start with. Going to be a big moment of relief for this side of Invictus Gaming, and they do scale really well. This is something that you need to keep in mind this entire time is they're about to go for, at the very least, fight for this fourth dragon. And if they continue to scale and get the fifth dragon, they're going to look very unstoppable. But
look at the damage. They've got so much of it here, but can IG actually get out of this one? The Baron is going to be up in another 15 seconds. QG are just looking to try and rush this one down as quickly as possible. We do have multiple members backing away now. Teleport not available for Zatai, so in 6 seconds, QG may have an opportunity just to go straight for the Baron. Doinby is going to lock down the enemy blue buff, but everyone now trying to make it to the Baron. GG now with positional advantage decide instead just to... Oh, kitties. Unbreakable Will, is it going to be there? There's a Pulverize onto multiple members, but he doesn't actually have it available just yet. Onslaught of Shadows. Kid caught out of position, forced to use the flash and gets locked down. Beautiful play. Depth Charge is going to stop Rookie from being able to escape, and now IG just getting torn apart systematically. And they're going to break the base, and is that going to be all as 3 members dead? Zatai and Qiao, the only ones remaining here on IG, and just looks like the team comp just didn't do anything that it wanted to in the late game here for IG. Might have just been a drafting problem for these guys, because QG just looked like they knew exactly what they wanted to do, knew exactly what they were capable of, and They just did it.
By the time they got to this late game stage, the gold lead was a massive difference as they're still fighting and diving here. But
yeah, oh my
wow.
goodness. That's what happens when your Orianna gets items, ladies and gentlemen. Haven't necessarily seen it since rookie, but man, Doimby's doing some work this game. Qiao trying to hate spike his way around as they're focusing the Nexus turrets. Oh, the Piggy does fall down as Kid is able to pick that one up. TCT now is going to fall as well. Kid trying to do some work here. They're focusing on the Nexus, but triple kill now. But no, not going to be enough. V with a final auto attack locks down the Nexus kill, and QG continue the rampage.
Their side looking very strong. They were waiting on that item spike, and once they got the locket onto the Sejuani, they hit the go button.
Yeah.
They went all in. They won a massive team fight for the Dragon. The 4th Dragon being contested. They come out ahead. Almost barely, but the fight went so well for them. Suddenly 5,000 gold lead. Get the Baron, translate that into a 10,000 gold lead, and just, as you said, systematically just remove them from the